June 6th, 1944. Dawn breaks over Normandy. Thousands of American soldiers are packed landing crafts, heading toward the beach. The Allies called Omaha. They've been told the German defenses are weak. Been told the bombers destroyed the bunkers. They've been told this will be easier than the other beaches. Every single thing they've been told is a lie. Hidden in a concrete bunker, overlooking the entire beach, sits a German soldier behind an MG-42 machine gun. For the next few hours, this one man will turn Omaha Beach into hell on earth. His name was Heinrich Severloh, and he's about to kill more Americans in a single day than most soldiers kill. Let me paint the picture, because you need to understand how this killing ground was. Omaha Beach is a crescent-shaped strand about 6 miles long. Behind the beach, there's a 150-foot bluff. The Germans had 2 years to turn this place into a fortress. They built concrete bunkers into the hillside. They placed machine gun nests with overlapping fields of fire. They buried mines everywhere. They put up obstacles in the water to rip apart. And they positioned artillery to hit anything that made it to the sand. The Allies knew Omaha would be tough. That's why they sent bombers the night before to destroy the defenses. That's why they sent battleships to shell the bunkers at dawn. Here's what went wrong. The bombers dropped their bombs too far inland because of cloud cover. They didn't hit a single bunker. The naval was too short, and most shells just bounced off the coast. And the Germans had way more troops there than Allied intelligence spot. So when those landing craft at 6:30 a.m., the Americans walked straight into a massacre. Heinrich Severloh he'd been on the Eastern Front fighting the Soviets. He'd seen combat, but nothing prepared him for what he was about to do. His bunker was designated Widerstandsnest 62. Widerstandsnest 62. It sat on top of a hill with a view of the entire beach. Next to him was his commander, Lieutenant Frerking, with artillery binoculars, calling out. Behind him were boxes and boxes of ammunition belts for his MG-42. The MG-42 wasn't just any machine gun. German soldiers called it Hitler's Buzzsaw because of the sound it made. It could fire 1,200 rounds per minute. That's 20 bullets every single second. It was so fast, it didn't sound like individual shots. It sounded like cloth ripping. And Severloh had 12,000 rounds of ammunition ready to go. The first landing craft hit the beach. Oars dropped. American soldiers out into waist-deep water. Severloh opened fire. Men fell before they even reached the sand. The water turned red. More boats came in. Severloh kept firing. His gun never stopped. Every few seconds, he'd burn through a 50-round belt, and he'd slam in another one. Frerking was next to him with binoculars, telling him where to aim. Landing craft at 11 o'clock. Soldiers taking cover behind obstacles. Medics trying to help the wounded. Severloh fired at all of them. He didn't think about it. He just fired. Years later, he went into a trance. Load, aim, fire. Load, aim, fire. His hands moved automatically. The gun got so hot, the barrel started glowing. They had to pour water on it to cool it down. Down on the beach, bodies everywhere, wounded men, soldiers trying to drag themselves forward. Some men just froze. Some men drowned because their equipment was too heavy. Some hid behind obstacles that weren't really cover. And the whole time, Severloh's gun never stopped firing. The Americans had been told there would be tanks to support them. Most of the tanks sank on the way in. They'd been told there would be air. The planes could see through the smoke. They'd been told the Germans would be disorganized. The Germans were dug in and ready. One officer later said the beach looked like because of all the bullets hitting the water and sand. Another soldier said next to him just disappear in a spray of red. A medic said he ran out of morphine in the first 30 minutes because there were too many dying men to help. Severloh kept firing. He went through belt after belt after belt. His shoulder was bruised from the recoil. His hands were blistered. His ears were ringing. But American soldiers kept coming. They had nowhere to go. Behind them was the ocean. In front of them was a wall of German fire. So they tried to move forward. Some made the seawall at the base of the bluff. There was a little bit of cover there. Officers started organizing Bangalore torpedoes. The wire. Small groups rushing the bunkers. Soldier climbing the bluff on fire. It took hours. Every yard of ground cost lives. By noon, Severloh had fired over 12,000 machine gun rounds. 12,000. He wasn't done. He grabbed his rifle and kept shooting. He fired another 400 rifle rounds at individual targets. Soldiers trying to climb the hill. Men running between cover. Anyone he could see. Lieutenant Frerking was calling in artillery strikes. Shells were landing on the beach, killing even more Americans. The two of them together were responsible for an insane amount of death. One bunker, two men, thousands of casualties. Around 1 p.m., American soldiers finally started getting up the bluff on either side of Severloh's position. They were flanking the German defenses. Frerking knew They had to pull back or they'd be surrounded. He gave the order. Severloh grabbed what he could and ran. He made it out. He survived the war. He was captured a few weeks later and spent 2 years as a prisoner. He went home to Germany and tried to live a normal life. What he did haunted him. In the 1960s, he started trying to find American veterans of Omaha Beach. He wanted to apologize. He wanted them to understand he was just a soldier following orders. He wanted forgiveness. Some Americans refused. Some told him to go to hell, but some did meet him, and they shook his hand. One American veteran told him, "You were just doing your job. We were trying to kill you, too." Another veteran said, "The real enemy war itself, not the men forced to fight it." Severloh wrote a book about his experience. He interviews. He was honest about everything. He said he probably killed over 1,000 men that day, maybe more. He said it destroyed him mentally. He said he had nightmares for the rest of his life. Every night, he saw the faces of the men he killed. The exact number of Americans killed at Omaha Beach is still debated.